From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. Today we're going to talk about Chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos is a pesticide produced by Dow Chemicals. As recently as November, the EPA announced its intention to ban all use of the pesticide, calling it unsafe to use in even the tiniest amount, any amount. The chemical is often used on apples, oranges, almonds, walnuts, lemons, and 80 other crops. The chemical was once the main active ingredient in household products like Raid. But Chlorpyrifos has been banned for home use for almost 2 decades now. Chlorpyrifos is derived from the same chemical family as sarin nerve gas. It kills insects by attacking their nervous system. Exposure to Chlorpyrifos is linked to brain damage in infant and kids and nervous system damage in adults, like, the farm workers who handle it. But farm workers at more than 40,000 farms in the U.S. are still applying this chemical on dozens of food crops. In his first blockbuster moment in charge of the EPA, Trump's appointed Scott Pruitt decided last week to lift the ban on the powerful, dangerous chemical. Dow Chemicals may be unrelated, but Dow Chemical contributed $1 million to the President Trump's inaugural committee. The EPA and Dow have been battling over this chemical since the Clinton administration. Back in 1995, the agency was fined $732,000 for failing to disclose more than 100 reports of Chlorpyrifos poisoning. Yesterday, some California residents of farm worker community began calling on Governor Jerry Brown to move swiftly to enact an immediate statewide ban. The Natural Resource Defense Council and Pesticide Action Network filed a court motion demanding that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency ban the pesticide. In a filing with the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco, the environmental group demanded that the EPA follow the conclusions reached by its own scientists. You'd think that's a very small thing to ask. But in a world like we live today, it's an uphill battle. I hope you're ready for a blazing fast brief news briefing. Devin Nunes stepped down today and recused himself from the House of Representatives' Russian investigation of President Trump's ties to the intervention of the U.S. election. That shouldn't come to any surprise to anyone. He was so wrapped up. He was more wrapped up than a mummy in a tomb. Senate Republicans deployed the nuclear option today to clear a path to confirm Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court, changing the 100-year-old rule of supermajority to a simple majority, which means they no longer need 60 votes, they just need 50. Neil Gorsuch could be confirmed as soon as Friday. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because keep in mind that these filibusters that have been going on are not new. They've been holding up government for years and years now, so it hurts, and it's also something that I feel is like a Band-Aid that needs to get removed. Eventually, it's going to be better. Anyhow, this is a brief news briefing. Steve Bannon was removed yesterday from the National Security Council, and there is talk of Bannon's frustrations bringing him close to leaving the Trump administration altogether. I guess Steve Bannon doesn't feel like he's getting respected, but in my mind, he should be locked in a basement and chained with only a couple links to the floor. Trump is at Mar-a-Lago today to meet with President Xi Jinping. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I'm doing better than mainstream media anyway. And they're going to discuss North Korea's nuclear weapons threat. North Korea rattled the region in February when it successfully launched a Pukguksong-2. It's a nuclear ballistic weapon. It's a nuclear weapon. It's devastatingly deadly. Then yesterday they launched 4 ballistic missiles into the sea near Japan. It's looking like a damn nightmare out there. People tune in to Brief News Brief because we cover the hard stories, the rock-hard news stories. Stem cells offer hope against horrible diseases, but in Denmark, they're good for a bitch and boner too. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all 40 to 70-year-old men. Many cannot tolerate Viagra, so the Danes are looking for a cure. Stem cells were harvested from the belly of 21 flaccid fellows. Within 6 months, 8 of the delighted dudes were reporting wonderful woodies after just one injection. Yeah, I said injection, into the penis. The 13 uncured hombres sulked away with disappointed wives, sore dicks, and a small cheesy pastry. Because I assume that's what you get at the healthcare offices of anything Danish, right? It's poll tally time. How do you feel about Ivanka Trump's new position in the Trump administration? The answer is meh. I really don't care. Okay, if you say so. And have you ever, well, no, that's how I should have asked it. Do you steal toilet paper? The answer is no, we don't steal toilet paper. I should have asked, have you ever stolen toilet paper? Because the truth is, I don't steal toilet paper, but maybe one time, more than 7 years ago, so no one can press charges, maybe one time I did. But I don't make a habit of it. And the last one that we're seeing results on is Brexit a pathway to World War III? The answer, 29% said yes, 29% said no, but a lot of you said it's not just a path, it's a doorway. A path is a long road to World War III, but Brexit, on the other hand, is a threshold. Once you walk through that doorway, WW3 begins. Now for the new questions. We need to know. Democracy will die if you don't flex this muscle, so go out and vote. It's on Twitter, @BriefNewsBrief. First question up. Do you think we should ban Chlorpyrifos from being used on crops? Secondly, is your go-to snack prominently sweet, salty, spicy, or sour? Now, I know a lot of these things intermix, so it might be a salty and sweet or sweet and sour, but what I'm asking is the prominent flavor. Is it salty, sweet, spicy, or sour? And finally, are you glad that the Republicans enacted the nuclear option?